What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Is that Tom Jones?
Yeah. Hey, I'm Mike.
I'm Jack.
Hey, I'm Darin.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable
Nah,
Dad.
that came on. That's gonna slap your mama.
It's been like 20 episodes since we had to restart.
Oh, I'm nervous. Oh my gosh, what if this is bad?
Then it'll be just like every other one.
Ain't nobody above an ass whooping.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, the only podcast with a cursing duck. Now, please welcome your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hey, I'm Darin.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode 85. We've got a really good episode for you this week. We're happy that you're here, whatever time you're listening to it. I know you're sick of hearing about it because at the day that we're recording this, and then there's going to be the day that this airs, it's going to be probably 3 weeks after it happened. But we haven't had an opportunity to talk about the infamous Will Smith, Chris Rock slap. We're going to talk about that. Not so much what actually happened, but a bunch of crap that happened after it.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about the fact that I have finally decided to keep less of me in this world. I've started a diet, so to speak. Or I'm sorry, a lifestyle change. Because everyone knows that diets don't work.
They don't. And I met a patron.
And put him to work.
I did. I did. So stick around with us. Yeah. All right, here we go.
So what happened new on TV 3 weeks ago? Darin?
Okay, I've always watched the Oscars. Okay? I've always watched them. I've always enjoyed them. They used to be so much better, and I'm kind of like, I equate it to being a Cleveland Browns fan.
Yeah.
I keep going. I keep watching. I keep hoping that they're going to get better like they kind of used to be.
Are they still awarding Lord of the Rings stuff, or is that over?
If only. If only. Last year was the worst Oscars ever. Okay, it was absolutely horrible, and I blame it on the fact that almost every single movie was on a streaming channel.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
And if you didn't have Amazon Plus, then you missed the movie that won Best Picture of the Year.
I think when I was a kid, I remember when I was a kid, I watched the Oscars, and then with the advent of the internet, I just watched the highlights. I would look up what I wanted to see.
Exactly.
But yeah, like when everything hit streaming, I just,
I know. It's like it's impossible to watch. And then they changed it to 10 movies that are nominated. And so maybe 3 of them you saw. I don't know.
Yeah, and then they would have they would give away some of the awards in an alley behind the show.
In a van down by the river.
The night before. And those would be the ones I wanted to see.
Actually,
Best sci-fi movie.
Actually, I'm kind of for them giving some of the awards at another time.
Yeah. Okay. Some of the weird ones.
The documentary short and these things that nobody ever gets a chance to see.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and then, you and I have kids, so every now and then you'll see the animated short because it'll go before a Pixar film.
Yeah.
So occasionally you see those. But I don't know. Anyway,
best use of a cello in a porno.
Exactly.
Nobody cares about that.
And I went to Yo-Yo Ma. Yeah.
Waka waka waka.
Anyway, the Oscars used to be a lot better when they would, like all those years Billy Crystal hosted, those were entertaining.
Yeah.
The year Letterman hosted, I thought was funny.
Yeah.
The years Ellen hosted were good, okay? They were actually entertaining shows. I don't know what they got to do to fix it to make these shows entertaining anymore, but this one was dull as hell until it got entertaining when Will Smith walked up on stage and smacked the shit out of Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Okay?
Uh-oh.
What was that? Hey, what happened?
Hey, what happened?
What the hell was that?
I was like, really? You
saw it live. You saw it happen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I've always liked Will Smith. He's always come off as like a really nice guy. Every time he would be on Letterman or another talk show, he was funny and fun and just, laid back and easygoing. And when he went up and did that, it was almost like watching Tom Hanks go up and smack somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is my take on it.
Okay.
When I saw Jada Pinkett Smith, I thought her head was shaved because of a movie role.
I'm about to come over there and smack shit out of you.
I thought she shaved her head for a movie.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything about it. When Chris Rock said G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I was like, G.I. Jane was a badass.
Yeah.
He compared her to G.I. Jane, a badass.
By the way.
And Demi Moore, a lot of people think she's hot.
Yeah.
Okay, you're comparing her to another hot badass. Where's the insult?
Side note, Your Honor. Side note, brief side note.
Yes,
did you see G.I. Jane when it came
did.
out? I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
And I remember They had like she was was it the Navy SEALs?
She was the Navy SEAL.
Yeah. They had some brutal dudes in there with her.
Yeah.
And she was holding her. I mean, I know
Yes.
it's
fiction.
Hollywood
Yeah.
over there, but still, just the actress next to the actor. I'm sitting there thinking, I think at the donut breaks, she could beat that dude to death.
It was a powerful, strong role for a woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's what it was.
So anyway,
And he was laughing at it. I mean, this has been gone and all over. And he looked over, and she's
she wasn't.
she's unamused.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? After watching the clip again, she kind of looked like, oh, God, there's Chris being Chris.
Yeah.
Because they were in the Madagascar movies together. They used to promote the movies together.
Yeah.
They're friends.
Yeah.
They know each other.
Yeah.
They've met.
Yeah.
So she just kind of looked like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't look like, oh, hell no.
It'd be like if I were up there giving an award and you're like, give it to Bono. You know, Bess would probably roll her eyes.
Yes.
Yeah. And then.
Yes.
And then Lippy would come up and smack the shit out of you, or me, or whatever.
Exactly.
You know?
We're not here to talk about that.
No.
I mean, I thought Will was out of line. What I want to talk about was the next day I posted a joke on my personal Facebook page. 2 jokes. I said, hard to believe that Ricky Gervais went all those years without getting slapped.
It actually is. I mean,
yeah. Right. And then the other one was, do you remember that time Clint Eastwood walked up on stage and smacked Billy Crystal? Right. And then a friend of mine said, I don't remember that. Because it didn't happen. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Well, this friend of mine who
bless his heart.
Exactly. Friend of mine who I've known forever. She chimes on and is upset. She's upset at my joke because anytime somebody physically harms somebody else, it's not funny. And she said that anytime you make fun of someone's medical problems, that's also inexcusable, unforgivable. I'm like, what? Okay, I can agree that you'd never make fun of someone who has a medical condition. I can agree with that.
I will say that you can make fun of the medical condition. Okay, so we didn't mention this before, but let's go here very quickly.
Right.
I think that humor has the ability to destroy anything bad. I mean, you can use it as a weapon against anything.
Right.
So if you're afraid to make fun of something, then you're giving it power.
Yes,
now, I agree. I don't walk into a children's hospital and start making jokes to all the kids.
Right.
But, there's some decorum there.
Right.
But, I mean, you have to allow for the fact that you should be able to laugh at anything.
Michael J. Fox was talking about how someone was, I don't know if they were trolling him on Twitter or something, and his kid said, Dad, what you do is you respond with your whatever you want to say, and then you put SMH. And Michael J. Fox says, what does that mean? He says, shake my head. And he did that. And Michael's like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, that was very funny. So Michael J. Fox took it,
Yeah. Have you ever watched, look on YouTube, you can find comedians with disabilities. And I've mentioned this before on the show. That's their act.
Yeah.
Is constantly, and it gets old after about 15, 20 minutes,
Exactly.
but I get it.
Exactly.
It's funny. There's something funny about watching somebody make fun of something that's afflicting them.
Right.
They're exerting power over it.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree with you 100%. I'm totally fine with somebody hopping onto my page and arguing with me. I've got a friend who got off Facebook altogether.
Otherwise, you would have banned me years ago.
No, I've got a buddy who he just got off of Facebook because he says it's all fighting. I'm like, well, all you do is talk politics. Of course, it's all fighting. All I did was say, Billy Crystal and Clint Eastwood and Ricky Gervais, right? Those are my jokes. My friend got on there and she started addressing other friends of mine who had commented directly. And one comment was she had asked another friend of mine if she ever smacks her kids. And I was like, listen, you don't need to be talking to my friends about this.
Yeah.
You want to argue with me, but don't question how a friend of mine raises her children.
Yeah.
And then my friend said something else about trying to teach people, think critically. And I'm like, listen, you're also not going to tell my friends how to think or raise their kids. And I ended up deleting the jokes because it was just starting too much problems.
I think most everybody on my Facebook page has blocked me or banned me years ago, so I never really have to deal with the audience in that way.
Yeah.
I can say that from my viewpoint, I mentioned I haven't watched the Oscars in a while because I usually I'm a YouTube freak.
Right.
So If something comes on, it's actually a problem. I've started, when I mentioned before, I'm trying to read more. I'm actually trying to watch shows more, like actual shows more, because I've gotten into this. I need a 5-minute video here, 7-minute video here.
Right.
You know, but that's kind of how I watch things like the Oscars. I don't care which cello is the best one in the porno.
Right.
But I do care if, like, any of the Marvel movies suddenly got nominated for anything. I'd be like, well, really?
Right. Black Panther.
Yeah. Most Spider-Man in a movie. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I didn't even, so I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to talk about how I can't stand people who said this. I didn't even know the Oscars were on until people were talking about it the next day.
Right.
I can't stand people who say that, because the next day, my Facebook page was filled with, you know, I didn't even know the Oscars were on until this thing with Will Smith, and I don't see why we should even care about it.
Right.
And I'm like, what happened with Will Smith? And then I look at the next post. It's like, why does everybody give so much of a crap about Chris Rock and Will Smith, these Hollywood elite?
Right.
Really? And I look on Twitter, and it's like, I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Hollywood elite and their problems. On and on and on and on.
Chris Rock is not Hollywood elite.
I know. I saw no posts that said what it was. And it was like a couple hours later, I think I mentioned to you, Bess, you know, just texted me, did you hear about Will Smith?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, what the hell? And then so if it weren't for all the people rushing to social media to tell me how little they cared about this event, I wouldn't have even known it happened until we sat down for the podcast.
Right.
And wouldn't that be a moment for the podcast where you say, what do you think about Will Smith smacking Chris Rock? What?
Hey, what happened?
Hey, what happened? Was it a thing for a movie? What? So it's annoying.
I know.
People rushing to say they don't care. And then we were talking about this earlier.
I remember, you know, because like when Tiger King was huge, I remember there's a handful of people I know, I've never seen Tiger King and I refuse to watch it. It was pretty funny. Yeah. But okay, don't watch it. I've never seen The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
But I'm not refusing to ever watch it.
Yeah.
I've just never seen it.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like the people, it's the same thing with Bird Box. All you people talking about Bird Box and I'm never going to watch it. Okay. All right. Good for you. Again, Bird Box was actually pretty entertaining. Was it the best movie of the year?
Yeah.
Did it change my life? Yeah. No. But it was like worth a couple of, you know, we spent 2 hours watching it and it wasn't bad.
Something that we're both into are the Marvel movies, and it became a thing. Yeah. I would talk to people, I would mention a Marvel movie. I ain't never seen one of them before. There's like 50 of them now. No. I mean, if you've walked into a movie theater, like surely you've seen one by accident.
No, a friend of mine was like, who has time to watch 26 movies? They've been on for 12 years. Yeah. You can surely squeeze a couple hours in.
You're not that busy, Jeff Bezos. What are you working in the Amazon warehouse? You don't have time to, you have to choose. I'm either going to or I'm going to watch Iron Man. Come on.
But it's like, who has time to watch 26 movies?
Multiple times in my life, I have encountered people who had no time. I don't have time to read. I don't have time to watch a show. I don't have time. I don't have time for them video games. And then you talk to them. What are you doing? Nothing. Oh, okay. Or they'll post about they watched this game and they watched this game and that other game. I was like, oh, you got a lot of time sitting in front of your TV watching these games. Yeah. But you don't have enough time for Frodo. I get it.
All right.
I get it.
But it's like, you know, each movie's a couple of hours?
Yeah.
So you watch one this weekend. Okay. Next weekend, I don't know, go crazy, watch another one. You know?
Well, okay, and we watch movies in chunks now, and it's kind of, so we had Bro Weekend this past weekend. I'll go off on a little tangent.
You and the boys?
Yeah, and we've decided, you know, we're going on a trip later on this year. We're going out west, and we're hitting a bunch of different places, and one of the places we're going to hit is Las Vegas. So I grabbed a bunch of movies that we have.
Las Vegas.
There you go. I grabbed a bunch of movies, some Westerns and stuff, because I told Bess, I was like, you know, the kids really have no context about the West other than it's that direction, you know? Like, I've seen tons of Westerns, so when we go, we're going to go to Monument Valley. A lot of Westerns were filmed there.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to look at that and say, oh my God, that was in this movie and that movie, and it's right there. Back to the Future 3 was filmed.
Yes.
We're going to be walking through that area. We're going to be in Vegas. We're going to see the Hoover Dam.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to be thinking there was some kind of hero movie. Beavis and Butthead was at the Hoover Dam.
All these shows are about water.
Yeah, I have all this context for it. They have none. So I'm like, let's watch all these movies.
Right.
Well, the one everyone wanted to watch first was Ocean's 11. That's the one I felt was safe to represent Vegas.
Okay.
Because one of the places I want to go and see the fountains, they go look at the fountain. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Spoiler alert for Ocean's 11. They succeed and they watch the fountain. So
Okay.
you've seen Ocean's 11.
Yes.
The first half hour of the movie is them putting together the crew. The next half hour is their plan, and the last half hour is them executing the plan.
Okay.
So we sat and we watched them getting all the people together. Then we watched them figuring out the plan. And then they're walking in the casino, and Andrew's like, okay, that's enough. We'll watch the rest tomorrow. What do you
What do you mean?
There's 30 minutes left, man. And I was like, you got the one guy's already in the vault. You can't leave now.
Yeah.
George Clooney and Brad Pitt are about to drop through lasers. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But that's what we did.
Yeah.
So we watched movies in chunks.
I'm going to tell you right now, do not let the kids watch Leaving Las Vegas. That's not a good one for the old kiddos. No. So anyway,
by the way, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So I'm sticking with PG-13. I got to be careful though, because PG-13 today is what R was back in the day.
Yes.
They'll like say, well, you didn't see the face actually explode. But me and Andrew watched The Magnificent Seven. Have you seen the remake with Chris Pratt?
No.
Oh,
is it good?
It's very good.
Okay.
It's very good.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's got to be streaming on something.
Okay.
But I watched it a couple of times.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. But back to the topic.
Oh,
at
yeah,
hand.
Chris Rock and Will
Chris Rock
Smith
and Will
and
Smith.
Jada Pinkett.
Something else that I'm also tired
You're tired and sick.
tired of hearing about this is the people who say, well, yeah, we've got a war in Ukraine, but let's keep talking about Chris Rock and Will Smith. That slap at the Academy Awards has not replaced
No.
the war in Ukraine.
No.
Harambe didn't replace
Right.
the war in Ukraine. And I'm also tired of hearing people saying, let's move on and stop talking about it. Because if I put something on my Facebook page, I'll talk about it as long as I want to.
Yeah.
Because it's my Facebook page. If I want to talk about Neil Diamond, I'll talk about Neil Diamond until the sun comes down.
Yeah, so people who listen to this podcast heard me tell a story last week about kicking a girl out of my car because she said something untoward about you too.
That's right.
No one who listened to that story and got enjoyment out of it can ever say, well, who's got time to talk about Ukraine or whatever? I'm sorry.
Right.
You listen to me, a bald dude you don't know,
Right.
kick someone out for saying something about Bono.
Right. And I was going to address that and say, it's like, I don't know that we need to apologize about that story, but she was thinking not metaphorically,
Right.
but literally.
Yeah.
Which is like, if you can't tell the difference between what someone puts in a song lyric, then
I
you're
got
not
no
worth
time
my,
for
you're not worth my time.
for that. I got no time. I had a moment of clarity. I swear if I don't necessarily believe in time travel. But it's almost like future more mature Mike sent brainwaves back to 20-something idiot Mike and said, you're not gonna work out with somebody that is that screwed up in critical thinking. Can you imagine someone with that type of thinking being around me for more than 5 minutes? Somebody like that around me for more than 10 minutes. Well, it might be a good movie.
Right.
Good movie. Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah. When Libby and I were dating,
Yeah.
she was over at my apartment, and it was getting late. I can't remember if I was making a snack or getting something to drink. I don't know what, but she's surfing through channels on the old TV, and she comes across Leno, and her da 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 ba ba da the Tonight Show with Jay
Is that
Leno.
okay.
And I walked in, and I just and I looked at her. I said, "We're not doing this."
I don't.
And she's like, okay. And it's like, no, we're not watching Leno in this apartment tonight or ever. Do you understand?
I still. Okay.
Leno,
So,
okay. Are we
back in the day,
Okay.
we're going to go different places here. When I first saw Jerry Seinfeld as a comedian, I didn't think he was funny. I think he's hilarious now.
Right.
But I didn't think he was funny. And then I heard he had a TV show. And for a while, I was like, why does that guy have a TV show? That guy's not funny.
Right. And
it wasn't.
Season 1 wasn't funny.
It was not funny.
It was hard to watch.
It got to the point now I can watch any Seinfeld, and it's except for season 1. And it's one of those things. It's like when I watch an old
season was questionable also after Larry David left.
Okay, but it's like when I watch an old Office, I'm smiling before it even starts. I've seen it 15 times, and I'm already grinning. The one, and it makes me belly laugh. The one where Michael Scott and Jan are showing Jim and Pam their apartment.
Yes,
and he has the 14-inch TV
that pulls out. Yes,
I belly laugh at that. To this day, I've seen it hundreds of times. Oh, my Lord. So that's where Seinfeld has gone. But I didn't think he was funny. Now, Jay Leno, I put him in the same category as Seinfeld. I still don't think Jay Leno's funny or ever was. And I'll see like documentaries. I'll see videos of, comedians talking to each other. I mean, Joe Rogan will go talk to different comedians a lot about how that was back in the day. They all agree that Jay Leno was like super funny. He was like the man. Letterman, and I saw him back then. I didn't think he was that funny.
Letterman always says that Leno was one of the funniest people he's ever known. And Leno, when he was just stand up before he took over for Carson,
I saw him do stand up.
He was. I mean, I always thought that Leno was hilarious. Like when he would be a guest. Okay, when he was a guest on Letterman, like he told a story about buying his dad a new TV. Okay, that had a remote control. Yeah, and he went back to visit him, and he says, "Dad, where's the remote control?" And his dad says, "I keep it in a drawer." He's like, "Well, why do you keep it in a drawer?" It keeps the batteries fresh. He goes, "Dad, I bought you the TV and the remote so that you could change it sitting in your chair and you wouldn't have to go change the channel." He goes, "I don't want to start a fire." He says, "Dad, it's not going to shoot a laser. It's not, And that was funny. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He used to be so funny, but I never got him on the Tonight Show.
Yeah. And well, I mean, here we go, Norm Macdonald. I thought Norm Macdonald was funny from the instant I saw him, but he was a different kind of funny. Like he still has the same mannerisms, which was odd if you watch those old appearances of him. He's in his 20s and he's still got the I'm going down the road there.
It's his delivery.
Just how he does it.
So I was going to get one of them oil changes there, the oil change. You got the oil in the car there, because if you don't get your oil changed, And it didn't matter what he was talking about, ever.
But then it morphed into he would show up on Conan, and he did it every time he showed up on Conan. He would spend the entire segment setting up a dad joke. Yeah. And it would, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go down the Norm Macdonald route because we've gone there millions of times. How did we get here? What happened?
Hey, what happened?
This portion of our show is brought to you by Diff Liquid Concentrated Wallpaper Stripper. With its unique enzyme action, Diff dissolves old paste and cuts wallpaper removal time in half. That's right, half. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I've said this many times before. I am nothing if not brand loyal, and the only wallpaper stripper I ever use is Diff. I love this product so much, sometimes I hang wallpaper just so I can go back in a couple weeks and strip it off with Diff. My wife says I have a problem, but what the hell does she know? Diff is the only one that really works. Did I mention that no steamer is needed? Anybody who uses anything besides Diff is a deadbeat loser. So what are you waiting for? Run by your corner hardware store and grab a cart full of Diff. And tell them you heard about it on Irritable Dad Syndrome. Now back to the show.
I met a patron. Okay. And this patron this is the first time I've met a patron who I didn't already know. Okay. You run down the list of people who are patrons of our show. Our very first patron is Greg Bodas. Okay. He's my son's drum teacher.
Yeah. I like to refer to them as people who care.
People who care. Yeah. So the first person who's a patron was Greg Bodas. Okay. Chris Hughes jumped on board. Okay. And he and I went to college together. Okay. Now, I have not met Lisa Coleman Ferguson, to my knowledge. Yeah. Okay. She's our third patron. Chris Michael.
She's the one kissing the aardvark in the Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Michael is my neighbor. And Jason Durbin is my neighbor. They care so much about this podcast that they donate financially to the success of our show. My mom moved to Cincinnati, Ohio from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Okay. And Libby and I went down to help her the last day and to get some stuff.
To assist.
Exactly. Yeah. We went down there to assist. And a couple weeks ago, I had gotten a message from Leslie Colley Hull. She is one of our patrons. Okay.
Yeah.
She and her husband, Craig, they donate money to this podcast, right?
Yeah.
So Leslie said, if you're ever in town, give us a call. We'd love to get together and whatever. Because Leslie went to high school with me.
Okay.
And she says, if you need anything, because I told her my mom was moving. She says, do you need help? I said, no, she's hiring movers. She says, well, if you do need anything, give me a call.
Okay.
I'm happy to help.
That's nice.
So we get, I know. Very, very nice. We get down there and, it's like my car was packed with stuff. My mom's van was packed with stuff. And then the truck was packed with stuff. Something we didn't realize was that mom had a bunch of stuff to throw away. Okay. And
just drug paraphernalia.
Exactly.
Like that,
yeah. You throw out all the old expired weed.
You don't, needles in Tennessee. They don't have the same throughput in Ohio.
Exactly. So
different climate.
We cleaned out her freezer, and then she had a bunch of just, when you move, I don't need those broken coat hangers. Okay. All this stuff. And it had piled up like 20 some bags, and we didn't know what to do with it because you can't leave it on the side of the street because the garbage people there.
You're leaving.
Yeah, you can, but they won't pick it up. And then you're just going to leave that mess for the next person.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to do that.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, holy crap, what am I going to do? I don't have any way to haul this stuff off or anywhere to take it, So I called some people that I knew, and another buddy of mine doesn't have a truck, couldn't help. And I thought, well, shoot, let's call the Holes. Let's call the Holes.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to Leslie, and she says, absolutely, Craig will be out there after he gets out of work.
That's awesome.
And so this guy who I've never met shows up.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm here about your trash problem. I'm Craig. And oh my God.
Was he like Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction?
Exactly.
Did he walk in and say, I need Ajax, a towel?
Exactly. How do you like your coffee? Lots of cream, lots of sugar. Yeah.
It's 7 minutes away. I'll be there in 3.
Exactly. The wolf. We called the wolf to take care of our trash problem.
So did she contact him before she told you he was coming over to help?
Yes. She did. She says, hang on, we do have a truck. Let me see. And then she got back with me in like a minute.
Okay.
She says, Craig will be there after he gets out of work.
Okay, I feel better now. Because for a moment there, I felt like she said, oh yeah, Craig will be there.
No, she did say, you're going to go take out his trash and you're going to like it. So he shows up. He says, I'm here about your trash problem. Never met the guy. And oh my God, I think he's the nicest person I've ever met.
Yeah.
This is the guy who made us the cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ask him about those? Like how he did that?
Yeah. He talked all about it. He had and Craig, forgive me because I'm going to forget a lot of this story, but he had fallen off a roof. Okay, he had broken some ribs, broken an arm.
Sounds like the hard way to make those cars.
Yeah, and he was in a bad way.
Okay,
and he didn't feel good for a very long time.
Okay,
and while he was recovering, he had started doing this.
Oh wow!
And it was one of the ways that he got through it. It was something to help pass the time.
Oh wow!
And then he enjoyed it so much that it affected his positive mental state. Right.
Okay.
And so that's why he did it. And I don't know how many, he's decorated like hundreds of Hot Wheels cars.
Wow.
And it's just what he enjoys doing.
Okay.
So, but this was the first time I'd met somebody who enjoys the podcast who I'd never met. And I cannot believe a guy who's never met me before shows up to haul off my trash. And Craig, I honestly can't thank you enough. So this is your shout out. Thank you so much. And honestly, if anybody ever gets a chance to meet him, you know what we're going to do? You and I will have a meet and greet, and we'll bring Craig.
Yep, we'll do that.
And meet Darin and Mike from Irritable Dad Syndrome, and Craig, and then Dave will be there, and then people can meet Craig because no one wants to meet us.
Well, one of the things that we have in our Patreon is Ask Me Anything.
Yeah,
and we've got to, at some point somebody's going to say, "Hey, I'm paying for this. Ain't nobody ever doing.
No one's ever asked us anything.
Nobody's asked us.
Nobody's asked us nothing.
But I think what we need to do is come on Twitch or we're on Facebook or something, and we just be on a video there for an hour and come in here and ask us whatever. Well, I think the fear is that nobody will ask us anything.
It's just going to be the aardvark asking us questions.
Yeah. Well, we'll
Stuff
answer
that he
his
already
questions.
knows.
Yeah, we'll answer his questions.
Hey kids, it's now time for Dave's Comedy Corner. There was a time when Adam and Eve held the world record for everything. The world's oldest man, the world's tallest woman. I think you get the idea.
Waka, waka, waka.
This has been Dave's Comedy Corner.
So I mentioned that Mom moved.
Yeah.
Okay. we went down there, and I was driving back with Mom, and Libby and my youngest son Cameron were in Libby's car.
Yeah.
Libby left a few hours before we did, while Mom and I cleaned up and got rid of the last remaining everything else in the house.
Okay.
So Mom and I are driving up, and we get through. We get all the way through Tennessee, and then we're somewhere in Kentucky where we stop to get gas, something to drink, use the bathroom.
Yep.
And Mom is walking her dogs while they're going potty.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there by the car, and I hear this woman yell, "Kaboom! Kaboom!" And this dog comes hauling ass right past me. She says, "Please grab hold of Kaboom."
Oh, that's a title.
And I said, okay. And so the door was open to Mom's van. The dog jumps in the car like, "Hey, we're going in the car.
Oh.
I'm a dog. I don't want to go in the car."
I gotta ask for my mental. What kind of dog was Kaboom?
It was like one of them. No, it was like one of them sheep dogs. Like one of them wire-haired,
like
sheep
the
dogs.
ones with the little barrel around their neck that save people.
No.
Okay.
That's a Saint Bernard.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of, I don't know what kind of dog it was. Yeah. It was salt and peppery looking with blue eyes. Oh. So jumped in the van. I grabbed hold of the dog by the collar. I'm like, "Hey, Kaboom."
Yeah.
So the woman runs up and she goes, "Oh my God. She was scared.
Okay.
She was freaked out. She goes, "Thank you so much." And I'm like, You named the dog Kaboom?
Yeah.
She goes, "Yes." I'm like, "Okay, well, all right, Kaboom, go to Mama." But in my life, I'll never forget Kaboom.
Oh my God.
What the hell? Got something. I almost dropped. Put your hands on your head, everybody. We're in for a wild ride.
That's what she said.
So we've mentioned Jim Timmerman many times on this podcast.
Jim Timmerman rocks.
Jim Timmerman is a good
awesome.
guy.
Yeah.
Used to be my boss. I've told several stories about him. Jim thinks he's funny. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jim sent us a couple of pictures from where he went to Universal Studios.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
We have a show there, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised. I thought that he and I would cross paths. But yeah, he sends us this picture, and then we're going to post these on our Facebook page. But he's pointing at this wall, and on the sign there is Irritable Dad Syndrome, the ride.
Yeah.
I think it was photoshopped. Anyway.
We need to get our legal team.
I was about to say, because we're not making a damn dime on this ride.
No.
But so he's pointing at the Irritable Dad Syndrome ride.
Mm-hmm. We're probably one of those rides that's always broken down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that, excuse me. And then the picture that follows is him in line for the ride, and there's nobody on the line for the ride.
Yeah.
Very funny.
That's accurate.
Very funny. Yeah. Nobody wants to ride Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mentioned a couple weeks ago I was at Universal Studios in Florida. Something that I didn't mention is while I was there is there's a place. It's on City Walk. Okay.
Is that where you come in? Yeah.
Exactly. That right down the middle, there's all the restaurants and all the gift shops, and then you can go to Universal Studios on one side and the
Hard Rock Cafe.
No, the other park, the Islands of Adventure on the other. And in the middle is all the restaurants and the Hard Rock. And yeah. So there's a place called Voodoo Donuts. Okay. We're walking around, and it's like every fifth or every sixth person has got a giant box of Voodoo Donuts. Okay. And I've got the kids. "Dad, can we get donuts? Hey, Dad, can we get donuts? Dad, Dad, can we get donuts?"
Yeah.
And then like, "Mom," Dad's not listening. "Can we get donuts? Mom, donuts, Mom, donuts, Mom, donuts, Mom,
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we'll go to Voodoo Donuts. Well, we get to Voodoo Donuts, and the line is down like 30 people deep around the corner.
It's because it's Voodoo Donuts.
It's Voodoo Donuts. Yeah. And there's a woman outside. And Libby walked up to ask, is this the line? She goes, "The line's back there."
Oh.
"It's back there. It's all the way back there. You can't stand here. It's back there." And Libby's like, "Okay. All right. Everybody cool. Put down the pen. Don't throw the grenade. We're good." Okay. And she looks at me like, "Good Lord. We didn't have time to stand 30 feet deep for donuts." So we thought, we'll come back when it's less crowded. The next day, it's 40 people deep. And the same woman, "Everybody back there. It's back there. Get the end of the line. Don't look at me." God, she is the meanest person in the entire state of Florida. Okay. So we're like, we'll try this again. we were trying to go at the end of the night, right? So we thought, let's just go during the middle of the day.
Oh, yeah.
So we get there and there's only like a dozen people. So
Good
this is
Lord.
the time to get in line. So Libby's, and we're all in line, and one of us would go up to the wall and look at the menu of all the different donuts. They had like 40 different types of donuts.
Oh.
And then we would go back and get in line because, God forbid, we give the impression that we're cutting line because we don't want the donut Nazi to shoot us down.
Yeah.
So I swear, God is my witness. The lady looked at the next person in line. How many?
Oh.
How many? And the person said 3. She goes, 3? 3. Don't tell me 3 and then send 5, or I'll get you out of here.
Whoa.
Don't tell me 3 and send me 5.
Whoa.
And 3 people went in. Oh, we were scared to death.
Good Lord.
So,
Jeez, they don't mess around in
No.
Florida.
no, they don't.
Good Lord.
So we went in there, and it's like we told the kids, you can get 2 donuts.
Okay.
So they got their 2 donuts, and I got my 2 donuts, and Libby got her thing.
Good
or whatever.
God.
And then we're walking around with this giant box of donuts.
Yeah, now you got a big box of donuts.
We got a big box of donuts that we can't set down.
Yeah.
We can't put in a locker.
Yeah.
We can't do anything with. And then we're just walking around and like, well, I guess I'll hold the donuts while you ride rides. We didn't think this through
Yeah.
because we weren't going to go home. We we're going to go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
So we're like, well,
You can take the donuts back to the hotel and then visit them throughout the week.
Yeah, but we would have to have gotten on the water taxi and ridden back to the hotel.
Yeah.
And that's going to kill like an hour.
Yeah.
So we just, middle of the day, just ate our donuts
So
so that we could ride some other rides.
So you reminded me of a story.
Yeah.
When we took Andrew, this is before Charlie was born. We went to Disney with Bess's family, and those were some hilarious and fun Disney trips. We went a couple times with them. So when we went, when Andrew was, I want to say he was 3. I think we were getting on a Dumbo ride. I think it was Dumbo.
Right. Is that the one that goes up and down and just in a circle?
Maybe it wasn't Dumbo.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's Dumbo. Who cares?
I love the Dumbo ride.
Anyway, we're in line. Okay, now we're in Disney. So we've already paid the, what is it, $800 an hour a ticket to get in there.
$800 an hour.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
We've already paid everything. And once you pay the amount of money and you give the appendage to get in through the gate, the deal is you can do anything in there within reason. You can ride.
You can't kill a man.
You can ride all the rides and do all the things. So we get in line for the Dumbo ride, and this is probably the middle towards the end of the day. And I'm in line with my brother-in-law and his kids, and I got Andrew, and me and Andrew are going to go on the Dumbo ride, and Bess is not. She's going to be on the outside. We wait in line.
Was this when Charlie was little?
No, Charlie wasn't born yet. Andrew was little.
Oh, okay.
Andrew was like 3.
Okay.
We're in line for like an hour, typical Disney line, and we get in somewhere in the middle. I hear boarding pass, and I'm like, and Jim, we're with Jim, my brother-in-law, and he gets a boarding pass. I'm like, what's a boarding pass? We're in line to get on these stupid little elephant things.
We're not going to Canada.
Whatever. And so they got boarding passes. I just figured it would go through the whole group. Apparently, every person gets a boarding pass. So we've been in line, like I said, an hour. Everyone has seen us be in line. We've been waiting our turn. They let us in. We go up. We get into the little thing. I strap Andrew in.
Yeah.
I strap myself in next to him. And they're walking around. Boarding pass. Boarding pass. Boarding pass. Boarding pass. And I'm like, oh. And the lady comes up, she says, sir, do you have your boarding pass? No, I don't have I'm with him. We were in line. We got somebody here without a boarding pass.
Why do
And Bess is over on the outside of the thing with her camera getting ready to take pictures. And she mouths, what the? And I mouth back, I don't know. And then this guy comes out and says, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the ride. I'm like, dude, I was in line for an hour. I don't know what boarding pass to get on an elephant.
Yeah.
Was it? I didn't want to get on a first class elephant. I'm on a. I'm just on a coach.
You're totally
elephant.
in coach elephant.
Can I take the coach elephant with my kid?
Uh-huh.
Sir, you need a boarding pass. And
For
then
what?
And
That's
then,
crazy.
And I hear, oh my
God.
And that was Bess over there. And then I heard some lady, like, there's all this like hubbub in the crowd. It's embarrassing because now I have to unstrap myself and I have to unstrap Andrew. Now he is bawling because he's been in line with all of us.
Thanks a lot.
Waiting an hour. Thank you, Disney.
Yeah.
And we get
like
out.
Indiana Jones didn't have a ticket.
So I like to say that Bess is the nicest person. She is the nicest person I've ever met in my life. She's exceptionally nice. So whenever she gets pissed, it's scary. It's like Tim Curry in Legend with the big horns coming out. Scary. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You better.
I would not cross your wife.
You've done something to cause this to happen.
Right.
So some lady said, what happened? And some other lady said, they skipped line and tried to get on. And Bess, and I'm going to try to mimic her voice as well as I can.
No, they didn't. They were in line with everyone else.
Something along those lines.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger. Those who attempt to skip line.
I think I saw, you remember Ghostbusters when the spirits, I think I saw part of that woman's spirit leave her body.
When you crossed the streams.
We got out and Bess was determined for like the next half hour. We were going looking for a Disney employee and she told this whole story and they're like, oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah. And
she gave us fast pass. The lady, the employee that she told us gave us like 4 or 5 fast passes, which we immediately went and used. So that was nice, but still it didn't, the damage had been done to Andrew.
It doesn't take away the hour that you lost either.
Yeah. And it doesn't, the kid being pulled and screaming and crying.
And a kid that young, it's very hard to get a kid that upset out of that.
Yeah.
Because they're kids. And that's what they do.
Yes.
Right? Like an adult can shake it off and say, you know what, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day.
No.
But a kid, it's very hard to do.
Very hard to
That's
do.
bullshit because oh my God. Okay, we have season passes to Kings Island. We went to Universal Studios. Okay, I've been to Six Flags. I've been to many, I've been to Disney World.
Yeah.
Okay, I have never been on a ride. It's like when you buy your ticket you go in, you get in line, you get on the ride.
Yeah.
What am I missing here?
I thought it was just like one of those, how Disney's very theatrical about everything. Like when you're in line, you're not just standing in line for, to get on Space Mountain. You're on an adventure and you're blah, 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 blah. And here's your alien compatriot or whatever. Right. I didn't expect when we get up, for them to say, where's your ID for your alien compatriot? Right. Okay, dude, I get the story. Let me on the frickin' thing.
No, listen, if you have to have a boarding pass to get on a certain tell you that before you get in the
have
line.
A sign?
Yeah.
Have something.
We hope you enjoy the Dumbo ride. Make sure you have your boarding pass.
It's not like people watching the lines at Disney should be at least half as attentive as the girl who was watching Who Was Around Us at the U2 show.
Oh,
she knew everyone within 20 people of us and who was supposed to be there.
No, you back.
Yeah.
Back.
There were no boarding passes.
Right.
She was watching that thing like a hawk.
Yeah.
She needs work at Disney.
She does.
This portion of our show is brought to you by the Corky Beehive Max Toilet Plunger, the world's most powerful plunger. Hi, I'm Dave Lay. Are you tired of breaking your back trying to unclog a nasty, impossibly blocked up toilet? Well, stand back, Troy. Do I have a product for you? The Beehive Max Toilet Plunger fits all toilet brands, including Kohler, with no splashback and powerful clog removal. Now I know what you're thinking. Why the hell do they call it the Beehive Max? Well, it's because this plunger actually looks like a beehive. It's quite brilliant, really. Run out and buy one for every bathroom in your home, because there's nothing more embarrassing than having company over and having to yell, "Hey honey, can you bring me the plunger?" The Corky Beehive Max Toilet Plunger, available everywhere quality toilet repair products are sold. Now back to the show.
My mom is named Dorothy. Okay. And coincidentally, Louder Than Life is coming to the Cincinnati area. I don't remember when. It's a 4-day concert. Yeah. I'm too old to go to a 4-day concert. There are some acts that I'd like to see. But out of curiosity, I'm looking at the lineup. A lot of the bands I haven't heard of. But there's one band coming to Louder Than Life, and their name is Dorothy.
Okay.
There's a heavy metal band named Dorothy.
Okay. Well, Dorothy did kill a witch with her frickin' house.
Yes.
and then stole the witch's shoes
But
and sang a song about it.
as hard as I try, because I mean, it's like Cinderella. They took Cinderella and turned it into a name of a heavy metal band, and that worked.
Yeah.
I can't make Dorothy
Yeah.
work, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Put your hands together for Dorothy.
Yeah. Even Alice in Wonderland. I know you're not a gamer, but there's a game, Alice, and it's based on Alice in Wonderland, and she has a butcher knife, and it's a really good game.
Yeah, well, remember
freaky.
in what was the Sylvester Cobra?
Cobra.
And his what was Cobra's first name?
I don't know, but I remember he had a matchstick in his mouth all day. A match. That bothered me.
His name was like Leslie or something. He always wished they had a more masculine name.
Yeah.
Like Alice.
Oh, you're making me want to watch Cobra again.
No, you're not.
Didn't he walk into a supermarket? That how it starts. He walks into a supermarket.
I don't remember.
Oh, Cobra.
I just remember he had the matchstick and the sunglasses.
Yeah.
That's another story that goes nowhere.
Yeah. So I'm trying to lose weight.
Okay.
And I figured I'm going to use this show to help me lose weight because I lose weight through accountability.
Okay.
If I just in a vacuum try to lose weight, it won't happen.
Right.
Because I have things in the house that I can eat to cause me not to lose weight. So I have an app that I use, and this is not a commercial. I'm just telling you guys, this worked for me. Noom.
Okay.
It's worked before.
Noom. Okay.
And the reason it works is because it pesters the shit out of you.
Okay.
How much you weigh? Oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought you were going on vacation. It knows we're going on vacation. I told it we're going on vacation.
Okay.
I told it what weight I want to be when I'm on vacation. I told it what weight I eventually want to get down to. I told it, what I do during the day, all these things, and it just keeps hounding you. I'm sorry, you didn't tell us what you ate for breakfast. There's something you're hiding?
So what Noom becomes a second wife.
Yeah, it watches everything that you do,
Okay.
and you can ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
But then it'll really start to it starts texting you.
It does not.
Do you remember? It does.
It does not.
You can turn all those things off. The first time I did
Okay.
it, I had everything on, and it called me one time, and that was freaky. You ever see the movie?
It's like, Mike, this is Noom. I was wondering, are you going to eat all of the peeps?
Have you ever seen the movie Cat's Eye? Stephen King.
It's been forever. I know I did.
So one of the stories is James Woods, and he's trying to quit smoking, and he goes to this quit smoking place. And they if they catch you smoking, they chop off your finger.
Yes.
Or they kidnap your wife. It's like that.
Okay.
Because they don't chop off your finger. But they just keep hounding you. And you get the first couple of weeks, it's like, I don't want to deal with these people texting me. I'm just going to eat the freaking salad. Mm-hmm. So I'm in week 2 now. I've lost 6 pounds.
Good for you.
And I'm moving forward. So I'm going to start announcing my weight.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Of where I am.
Okay.
And where I want to get to. So that everyone can see what a loser I am or how good I am at losing weight.
Okay.
One or the other. There's no in between. I'm black or white.
What is your current weight?
My current weight. What is my current weight? It's 224.6 pounds.
Okay.
Because I was at 230.6. So I'm 224.6 this
Okay.
morning.
Okay.
I'm trying to get down to 195. I told Noom 185, but let's be honest.
Right.
That's crazy. So I'm trying to get down to 195.
Okay.
According to the BMI index, I'm obese until I get under 215.
Well, you're taller than I am.
Yeah.
So I weigh 220.
Okay.
And I am obese.
Yeah. I'm obese. I've got
because
another...
I'm technically 30 pounds over the weight that I should be.
According to
at my
that
height.
thing, Tom Cruise is obese.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so I'm telling everyone, what is this? Episode 85, Mike weighs 224.6.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Since you're doing this,
Okay.
I'm going to do this.
You're going to do this too?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
I've been saying forever
Yeah.
that I need to lose weight. And
Okay.
what do? I don't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like I have a treadmill. Do I get on the treadmill? No.
You have a treadmill?
I have a treadmill. Yeah. I have an AB bench. Do I do sit-ups on my
Whoa.
AB bench?
No.
The sweets, if they're in the house, I'm going to eat them.
Uh-huh.
I'm going
Yeah.
to. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't have them in the house and not eat them. Okay. That's
Yeah.
just, I'm sorry. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah.
So I've got to stop. The only way I can stop eating the sweets
Yeah.
is if I stop buying the sweets.
Okay.
I'm going to join you on this quest.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
should we exchange vows or how's this?
Let's spit on your hand and we'll shake.
So anyway, that's what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna try to lose weight, and because part of it is our vacation is going to require a lot of hiking, and the last thing I want to have happen is Andrew in his 40s. Yeah, I remember when Mom and Dad took us on that vacation, and
4 of us went, 3 of us came back.
we went hiking on one day, and the next 4 days we were just laying in the hotel in tears.
Exactly.
And so
you're like Clark Griswold. Who's hungry? Anybody want to get something to drink? Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, all right.
Okay,
so it's on. It's
good
on.
luck.
All right. Thank you.
I wish you good luck.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, now with anti-cavity protection.
I don't know why this came up,
Okay.
but I haven't talked about my father on this show in a very long time.
Okay.
When I was driving home from Tennessee, I overheard a conversation. It wasn't with Kaboom, but it was at another point. It was at a rest area.
Yeah.
And it was 2 men, and they were standing out. I guess, I don't know if they were waiting on someone to use the restroom or what, but they were talking about where they were going and how they were getting there. Okay. And my dad used to do this all the time. Like if I said, "Hey, Mike, I'm going to go to Johnson City," my dad would say, "Oh, are you going to what, are you going to take 75 down to what, 40 and then to what, 81 and then 26? Yeah. You ever thought about taking the Mountain Expressway? No, I didn't. Well, if you take the Mountain Expressway, that'll cut about 20 miles off your trip. I'm like, okay. It's just like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to Lafayette, Indiana. Oh, you're going to take 65? Well, I don't know about that. I would take whatever. And this was long before, just like decades before MapQuest.
It reminds me of do you remember the Saturday Night Live skit, The Californians?
Yes, with Steve Martin.
With I don't know who.
He was in one
I was
episode
going
of California.
down 190 I-95 north, and then I saw the thing. You mean you were going over by the expressway down by the south? Oh my God!
Get out of the car. Take the Slauson cut off. Cut off your Slauson. Get back in the car. That has nothing to do with the skit you're talking about. I jumped ahead.
I want to apologize in advance, because I was ready to fight with you.
Okay.
All right, on The Power of the Dog.
Oh, did you watch it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just you didn't like it so much.
I hated it.
I was determined to like it.
Right.
Because I want to argue with you.
Okay.
I just haven't found the time to watch it, and I don't think I will.
Okay.
But then I had an epiphany come to me.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's my word of the week, by the way. I've been reading more. In college, I took a class. So I'm sure all colleges do this. They try to have many of them have well-rounded students. So you don't want to have somebody just take all chemistry classes. You want them to take some literature and stuff, because they need to be able to talk to people and read things when they get out. So I had to take this literature class, and the professor was obsessed with A River Runs Through It.
It's a good movie.
Okay, we are going to fight. All right,
you didn't like that movie?
Here we go.
Okay.
He talked. I think we spent the entire quarter talking about that movie.
Okay.
We all watched it together. We were supposed to read the book. I said I read the book. I didn't read the book because it was about fly fishing. And I get it. There's there's more to things than what the fly fishing, but it was about fly fishing, and they were tying everything back to fly fishing. And something horrible would happen, and it's like, oh, well, this is kind of like when you're flinging the fly across the creek on the thing, and it flies. And I just, talking about eyes rolling, my eyes were rolling so far back in my head, I couldn't take it.
Yeah.
But you said it was a great movie. I think it's one of the worst movies of all time, and I think it's stupid.
Okay.
And it's terrible.
Okay.
But hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm not saying anything.
Was Brad Pitt in that?
Brad Pitt's never looked dreamier.
I love Brad Pitt.
Right. I do too.
And I can't stand that movie. Okay. This professor that I had apparently devoted his life to that movie.
Okay.
You like this movie.
But I didn't devote my life to it.
But I'm saying,
right,
there's a lot of evidence that this is a great movie. I ain't buying it. I don't like it. Okay. So then I thought, that might be what Darin's going through with Power of the Dog. Okay. It might be a really good movie. And I don't want to be like the professor. And I don't want to watch the movie and then try to come to you to explain why it's a good movie. Because if anybody comes to me trying to tell me how great A River Runs Through It is, all I'm going to do is sit there and think, It's about fly fishing, and I don't care about fishing. I don't care about flies.
Did you watch the whole movie?
It's been 20 years.
The movie was more about the relationship with Brad Pitt, the son, and Tom Skerritt, the father.
Yeah, and they were fishing.
They were fishing. That's one of the things that they had in common.
Okay.
But now it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But, the movie was a lot of what they didn't have in common.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not fly fishing.
Like not fly fishing. Exactly. My favorite part about that movie was Robert Redford did the narration for it.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my God, I don't care how much money it takes. One of these days, I'm going to be rich enough to hire Robert Redford to come and talk to me at night while I go to sleep. Okay. Not that he's boring, but my God, he was just absolutely, and a river runs through it. I'm like, I love you, Robert Redford.
The professor may have ruined the movie for me because
I think your professor did,
I think we had half the class before we watched the movie.
Okay.
And I was walking in and I would sit down in the class and it'd be like, let's talk about fly fishing. I'd be like, is this whole class about fly fishing and this one movie, this one book?
I think you missed the point of the movie. Yes, they fly fished, but the movie wasn't.
Let me go to a different movie.
The movie was about a family, but I'm going to tell you one thing right now.
Okay.
You hated A River Runs Through It.
Yeah.
That was 1,000 times better than Power of the Dog.
See,
okay.
I feel like I need to watch it now. Maybe
you'll probably love it because you love movies that I hate.
Here's the deal. I don't like baseball. Mm-hmm. I love the movie Moneyball.
It was a good movie.
It's all about the baseball, but there's more to it. I get that. I get that thing.
That's watching a movie about baseball is 2,000 times different than watching baseball.
I realize that what I'm saying is akin to someone saying to me, akin to someone saying, "Oh, Star Wars, it's just about sand." Well, as boring as that. Sand and Yoda.
Yeah.
Help you again? Yes.
That would, or someone coming up saying, John Wick, kick him through another window. By the way, I really want you to watch the movie Nobody. Have you seen the movie Nobody?
No.
With Bob Odenkirk?
Oh, no, but I want to.
It's John Wick for people who don't like John Wick.
Okay.
It's basically, and I've already ruined a lot of it for you.
I love Bob Odenkirk.
I've basically told you the equivalent of the Bruce Willis is dead in Sixth Sense. So, but I want you to watch it. Yeah. But I think you should watch it's really good.
Okay.
But I'm interested in seeing if you actually like it because there's a part where it's like, I actually thought, shoot him again. Go ahead, shoot him, kick him through another window. And I thought, that's what Darin said. That's son of a...
You mentioned someone talking about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a year or so ago, I found out that a guy who I used to work with, and he's 10 years older than I am, had never seen Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
And he still tells people that, and he takes this pride in it.
Yes.
I kind of see where he's coming from. It's like, you went this long without seeing Star Wars, go your whole life, and then you might make it in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Now you're not allowed to watch it.
Exactly, right? Because for the longest time, I think I was the only person who had never seen The Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. And then my grandparents made me watch it, and then I enjoyed it, or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
But, it's like people always go, oh, what? And how have you never? It's like, listen, with some movies, never seen. It's like I have a friend who has never seen the Back to the Future movies.
What the
Right. And it's not like, oh my God, how can you not watch that?
I could see not seeing Back to the Future 3.
It's like, how have you not? Because I thought he was legally required. And why am I talking like this?
You turned into Don Corleone.
I'm going to make you an offer that you can't refuse. That's good water.
Yeah. You come to me this day, the 85th podcast. Ask me a favor. We got to wrap this thing out, man.
We're about out of time.
This is like the big president of the tree. This one's a big one.
But before we go, I wanted to mention something. And I mentioned this 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
A dear friend of mine, Tim Cable, passed away. And he was one of the greatest reporters who I have ever known, who I've ever had the privilege to work with. His family has set up the Tim Cable Memorial Scholarship Fund. And what the money is for students who are going to dedicate their career to storytelling. Okay, so you go into broadcasting and you go into reporting, anchoring. But what Tim was best at was storytelling. He did a feature called Cable Country, where he interviewed the 90-year-old man who would make ducks out of soap. And just every one of his stories, each one was better than the next. So I'm asking you, if you want, you could go to timcable.com irritable.org, and it will help students become better in their career broadcasting. And I ask that you do that.
We have on our website, if you go to irritabledadsyndrome.com, there's an annoying little icon, and I love it because Darin has no idea what it is.
I don't know what it is.
It's called Buy Me a Coffee. Okay. And you can click it, and it's basically a way to donate money. And it's a cute little, how many coffees do you want to buy? You know, it's I think they're like 50 cents. If you donate $1, you're buying 2 coffees. So what we'll do for the next 2 weeks, say, anybody who makes a donation on to Buy Me a Coffee, we'll send that directly. We'll donate that into the Tim Cable
Scholarship Fund.
Yeah,
and we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right, we're going to head on out, and before we go, we want you to go to irritabledadsyndrome.com. And you can listen to previous episodes. You can buy merchandise. You can donate money to us via the Patreon page.
Yeah,
do all kinds of
folksy things.
You can do all kinds of cool things.
Yeah.
You can donate money to get me speech therapy. I haven't been able to say half a sentence this entire podcast, and I have no idea what's wrong. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Well, that does it for us this week. Time to hit the open road and ride off in the sunset. Adios.
Get on the plane, get on the plane. F you, I'm getting in the plane. Do you remember that one?
We just landed, and now the stewardess thinks she's the mayor's wife. Put your
How
seat
can
back.
you welcome me to a place you haven't even arrived at yet?
Put your seat back forward. That's physically impossible. If I could do that, I'd star in porno films.